I realize there's a difference between companies that are fast food. You know, they don't ever, you never hear them talk about their own problems. They're really not in your way ever. They're just like, you know, quick to take your order and get it out. And you hear no drama. Only probably if, you know, there's disrespect going on or what have you among customers. Not that they're, you know, super friendly. They just are doing their job, very efficient. And then you have companies, you know, you walk in, they're in your way, and they're talking about themselves or problems. Just because they're not united here. And they do want to get to know each other. They do have problems. And they're bringing them to work because that's just the mindset they're in. There's a disconnect, you know. When I worked for the airlines, when I went to go to training, they go, it was like the first day of training, there's probably, I don't know, 40 in the class or something. And all different age groups, you know, probably age 21 on up, maybe. I don't know if anybody was under 21. I think I just turned or was gonna. I almost seemed like I couldn't drink, but I think I could. Because see, when I turned 19, that was the drinking age. And I just made it. I was grandfathered in, they call it. I was in Arizona. And I had the best birthday. I had the best birthday. Here's what we did. My mom, my grandma, it had to be my grandma, my sisters, maybe Yvette, our friend. She lived with us a little while. And we went to Chippendales. It was so fun. We laughed our ass off. It was such good fun. Great dancers. They really got into us all. We were kind of in the front row too. Woohoo, big 19-year-old. And we drank responsibly. Everything worked out. It was a lot of fun. I noticed, you know, when you're looking at these rentals, I want to say fucking rentals, but when you look at these rentals online, like Craigslist, they're always like, no smoking, no drugs, no partying. We prefer you don't even be here during any time, like during the day especially. You need to work away from this place if you're going to rent a place, a room with us. Just bullshit, you know. So some of these shelters and these assisted living places, things like that, they treat you the same way, you know, like you're a child. I remember trying one. They thought my mother-in-law needed to go into assisted living, and we went into one, and it was in Mesa, I think. It was like a cruise ship. I go, this fucking place looks fun. Really fun people. You know, it could be even a little better. It was a little sterile. And everybody was really friendly. And it was Caucasian people, you know, they're Caucasian. But there was other ethnicities. You know, we didn't meet everybody. And everything was just all there, inclusive and stuff. And they didn't like that. Just more he didn't, you know, we felt he was insecure around people that were blue blood or had money. He was considered blue collar worker. You know, we tried to get him to live near us after we we were that middle-class family that moved into the rich neighborhood, Paradise Valley. And we wanted them to look for a home around us because they had money. And we just didn't feel comfortable around people with money. So we're sick of being treated like kids because life is fun and there's a lot of cool things out there and you can learn to do things safely and get balance at a young age and open that area where you have past lives, past names. You have older spirits, younger spirits in you. You have all different age groups, but we have an eternal age of 21. So we're really all the same age, playing roles in each other's lives. And I know my dreams, my child and I definitely are in the same type of role, but in a different decoding of it. In England, we were in a building with that one actor. And his son came out dressed in his costumes, and he had them all on at the same time. But it was like, very high intelligent, aware of it. And he was miserable, and the biggest one was, to me, was a football player. Like I saw all his spirits, all in one. He was like his costume, the son of this actor. And it was very comfortable as far as I knew. I knew at the time I was actually there. This was actually happening. We probably looked different. I don't know what I looked like ever in my dreams. But very similar spirits. Kind of the parental role, frustrations. Seems like I was divorced. And could have been the actor trying to get to my life, but anyway, we're sick of being treated like kids. Okay? It wasn't until I got away from my parents that I became unsafe with drinking. And I didn't like really cigarettes. I'd do them once in a while. I didn't like speed. That's what people were taking back when I was growing up, speed. I loved weed, marijuana. I started smoking at 14. And I dated people that smoked weed. And then I started dating the squares, the ones that had to go to college. And they were drinkers. Their friends are all drinkers and, doing cocaine even. I was getting away from it, unfortunately. And then the airlines came and I couldn't do any of that. But they were snorting coke when I joined. Right on the plane, too. And you don't have to go as a flight attendant, crew member. You don't have to go through security. And it was unsafe. I'd get really wasted on my layovers. And I met really cool people, though. I was always safe, they were cool. Just maybe because they were, on the fringe, especially out of New York area and stuff like that. Really cool people on the East Coast. I know, we're really sick of being treated like kids. I want you to know there's not as many people in the world as you think, and we're not as big. It's inflationary, and there's a frequency on rentals. Rentals are going away. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Fuck you. Go away. Go away. We don't want you around anymore, rentals. Nope. I drew a really cool home. Let me see if I can show it to you. I can get a light on. This is my idea of my dream home. And look at this idea, because the schools are all changing. They're going to be state-of-the-art base camps. Found lighting. Oh, here we go. Movie base camps. And everything will be free. Everybody's going to have a cool home. And then the main center one, you know, the base camp, if you will. Let's see. I'm going to turn this. It's just like, it's shaped like when you look down at it, like a cross. I know it's probably hard to see. And then the center is the pool. It's all enclosed. I don't want the weather to ruin our fun. And the elements and bugs. We need to unite with them, but I want my house all enclosed. You got a running, biking path. Got roller skating. Got billiards. Big, huge garage to work on your cars, wash them. Kitchen. These like neat bedroom suites, kitchens, bathrooms all throughout. And everything's enclosed. Isn't that cool? And we'll be treated like adults. It's important. Sorry for all these angles. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And it wasn't until I started going out without my parents, it became a problem. Passing out, you know, things like that, or getting sick. I always started getting sick. And just know marijuana can always right your ship if you understand how it works and how to use it and so on. It's sometimes good to, you know, buy and get home and use it. Don't be out there it kind of gets to know you. I was told that when I drank ayahuasca, they said the plant medicine the first night is going to get to know you. You're only going to drink a tiny, tiny quarter. You know, these little paper cups. You can only have a little bit that first night. And I drank it, and I felt it come in through my feet. Straight up through my feet. Enter me. I was trippy. And then the next night, you're knocked on your fucking ass. You're in another world. And they said you're attached to your body by a silver cord. And I would just think, I was really strong, and I would just think, I can't wait for this to be over. Like, I knew it was going to be. I couldn't fucking wait for it to be over. And the second night was, we are going to do a cleaning. There's like 33 of us in ceremony. It was 5 nights a week. We went for 1 week. And it was like this fragmentation in my area. It was like the whole horrible feeling. It wouldn't go away. And I was like, I can't fucking wait for this to be over. You couldn't open your eyes. Like, you're in a place where I couldn't have opened my eyes if I tried. There's like, they're not my eyes now, or you're blind, really, temporarily. Your other stuff's heightened, so you have to stay strong, okay? And just say, well, this is how it feels to be poisoned, or this is how it feels to ingest ayahuasca on a light stomach, because they didn't want us to eat after 11 o'clock that day. A.M., what are P.M., A.M., A.M. And then you do ceremony at 5. You get there at 5, you know, it starts around 5. They're so beautiful. And they would perform songs, you know, really beautiful. Shaman. Leaf rattles. And then all, you know, kind of harmonize or join in. And then the third night, was intense again, really intense. Hated it. I'd been working on your timeline, and then it's like just a black wall. It was like I was purging lower body, throwing up, and then buckets and stuff. And they were doing full-on exorcisms on people, as far as one lady the first night. And then I know the fourth night you worked on your whole timeline, your family timeline. I didn't have a lot of visions, but I had a lot of knowings and a lot of making up. My dad was really strong in me as far as the sorrow I felt. I wasn't telepathic yet. I wasn't hearing other dialogue. But I was singing my ass off. And helping. It seems like I was helping people too. Whether I was talking to them or rubbing someone's head. And, every time, I can't wait for this to be over. By about 12, you're done. You're pretty like, okay, I got through it, man. I don't know. People, not everybody would show up the next night. I smelled weed, actually outside one of the pods that we had stayed in. And I was like, oh, man, if you could have done that smoking weed, it would have been a whole different ball and chain. And some of those people are, I guess, in my fifth time, you're like, what? Don't tell me nothing. Ugh. Like, I don't even want to hear what to expect, I was like, they start talking about, like, oh, yeah, wait till that night. I'm like, what? Soul retrieval. Fucker. Yeah, so I was thinking. So it's trippy. So fifth night I was like, no, I'm done. I don't fucking just a little tiny bit. But I faked it. I didn't even drink it. I was done. I was so zapped. Oh, and I was fighting with my spouse after, and you go there with intentions of like, why you want this? Yeah. And they speak Spanish. There's gringos there too that are running it, so they speak English, but white people. And it's on the Amazon. It's in Iquitos, pero you fly into Lima, and then go to Iquitos, and then on a boat you go down the Amazon, like an hour and a half. And it's cool, and they had other tours along with it. When we were all in the abyss, it became a shaman war after I woke up. All the downloads and the stuff going on. Separation of spirit, man. And you realize what you did to your kids, or your kid as a mom or dad. So it's hard, to get through. And I was stolen away in the middle of the night because my spouse had always talked me out of leaving. I had quit everything, except for the company. I was still barely a part of it. And but we'd really downsized. We were totally virtual now, just online. And I started recording my podcast. It's 2014, 15. 515, 16. And then I got stolen away in the middle of the night. My God, I did. And I had already started getting my health back before that, so I was pretty healthy, and that saved me. I started getting out walking, I just take off. And my spouse was like, where are you going? And I'm like, fucker, you found me. I could just get out there and walk. Hours. I just end up in fucking, from Twin Falls, to Door Faith Road area. It's trippy, and then the reality would change. I'm like, there wasn't a hedge there before. Now there is. Hawaii has some really interesting energy. And I met God on Hawaii, on Maui, specifically the island of Maui. And he had this white hair and beard and mustache flowing. He was so beautiful. We kissed and then cried and kissed and cried, and then I had to go back down. And I was traveling from lower, middle to upper earth, and then I kept having to do this and get this breath of life breathed into me and come back down and breathe it into my spirit animal, my God, my goddess, my me. In that order, you know, do this weird breathing. So this takes me on to the next point, is like where you are, the animal and the sea creature and this and that. You think about, you know, a kangaroo goes up and down, you know, or down. You know, a lion, you know, they're like projectile forward. You can jump and get high. And then we're humans, and we're walking this way. So we're fighting over this area in our body. We're confused. I went to go move over in my car, and I hit my head. I go, fuck, you know, I was thinking about that. And as soon as I started focusing on that, putting starlight in there, everybody started feeling better. Getting out of the birth canal, they say. So it's tricky when you do energy work, and you can't blame others. You just have to keep uniting in this area that we are. And we're all connected. We're all united with God and getting unblocked. And he is a Gentile. He is. So if you watch Lion King, it's a really beautiful series or movie. Good one for the library. The Disney movies are important. They are. All right. Peace out.